Hello guys, Woohoo here, back with another episode of the new show. We are on week 23, I think it is, or is it 24? Doesn't really matter. It was hit in the title which one it is. But first of all, I want to say thank you guys so much for watching, and of course a shout out to Zero for making all these. You are a bro. Thank you so much for making the live stream notes so I can go over on the new show. So on these the live stream that they had. They talked about a lot of lore stuff. We do have a lot of question and answers still. But the first post here, as you also can go in the description and read all about this in the link, of course. All the first is a lot about the lore stuff. If you want to read that, I don't want to go over all of that. There's also a few questions I'm going to skip down in the questions and answer section because it's also due with lore and doesn't have like specific due to kind of news in that sense. I would say where we kind of would go into more specific things. So if you want to read all of this lore things, go check out the description. There is Zero's thread that you can just go over and read it all yourself. And if we scroll down further, we are going to go to the question and answer where we are going to, of course, going over some of these. The first couple of questions are also something I think you should read yourself. It's something, again, with the lore stuff and history and story and stuff like that. So also a little bit about long term, but they don't go into specifics. Like, for example, here, like after U10, what is on the schedule for 18 or 19, basically. They don't go into any specifics right here. All they do is just say that they have ideas that is going to be awesome, and there's not going to be like see the light of day, and some is not going to go into the game. So they have a lot of ideas, and they feel like they're good on like some ideas right now going into also 2019. So that's really, really, really good. So that's kind of the first three questions. So let's just jump down to this question where it's somebody asked if they can get all items that doesn't give mastery added to Luxian or the Flux Dragon, wherever you're going to call him. And they say that it's a really good way to introduce old items, and I really feel like it is so as well. It's absolutely amazing that sometimes you can kind of get a little bit disappointed because you have it, but I guess it's really individual because sometimes I get a lot from it and sometimes you're not. And I don't think, sometimes I think when there's not a lot of things for me personally, I feel like I don't really get anything out of it, get a little bit disappointed. And then I kind of think, oh, I want something like new that nobody has. Like sometimes they've introduced new items that nobody has. But then on the other hand, I don't want to have it expectations that I'm always going to have a new item, even though maybe I have all the things, there's always going to be that one new thing every time, and then I just expect that. So I don't think that should be there, like a new thing every time. Sometimes it's awesome for you, sometimes it's not really awesome, and I think that's really the point of it. It feels like he's like always there right now by having that, you know, they're basically telling us all the time, and they're kind of good at telling us in the intro thing. So I think Lucian personally it shouldn't be changed, and that's what they say themselves, and that he's going to continue as he is right now, and maybe there are going to be some changes to him at some point. Next thing is that they're talking about something in Final Fantasy where you can find rare monsters or something like that. And that's also something like World of Warcraft has something about, you know, you finding a rare monster somewhere and that it's like available for everyone. And I think that actually is a pretty awesome thing where you could find like a guy somewhere in the like say Neon City biome. There's a special rare monster somewhere in there that shows up on your minimap randomly that can spawn in as the zone spawns in. So it's not always there, but sometimes you hunt it. And I'm not saying it should be specific. It should be like to all biomes. So not because if it's only to one biome, he's getting into one person or one NPC or one monster is getting introduced to, that zone is going to be overcrowded by getting people. And then I say it could be that this guy drops a special item that maybe doesn't even have any stats, or maybe could be a stat thing where it actually is like it guarantees stellar, basically. Maybe if you find this guy and defeat him, that is a little bit harder than normal. Like it's a mini boss times 2 or 3 or something like that. Something you can solo by the level or in the prime world that, or elemental world, whatever you are in, of course. It's not should not be like if you're running around in Uber 1, for example, or U1, and then you get your 9 boss and you basically just get one shot by him. That's not anybody should find fun, right? And maybe then, of course, it shouldn't drop maybe a stellar at that point, but maybe stellars in 8 and 9 or something like that. I'm not sure, but hunting rare monsters would be fun and like, ooh, that's something extra. And I don't think it should be in Shadow Towers. I think it should be in like the dungeon worlds and stuff. Like I think Shadow Towers has enough and don't need that kind of specific thing. I think it's something you should be out in the world, or the rest of the world, and hunting basically. Next question is, when are we going to get all bonuses active week? That's of course when we have all the things. We actually haven't had that during the new bonuses. I'm pretty sure we haven't. I'm 99% sure. If somebody knows, tell me in the comments if you know actually if has been since we had the new bonus for days and stuff like that. But they haven't said that. They say there's going to be like a rare special occasion and stuff like that. I think introducing Geode would actually be a very good find, but they don't have any date yet, so we're not going to see it in a while. Separate resource inventory for Geode. Actually, that would actually be nice. No plans now. We found playing. Found it in playing. It wasn't necessary, but keep an eye on the feedback. Yeah. No. I would. A specific tab for it would be amazing in the inventory tab that we have already. Maybe that would be something, because they are saying with all the lore stuff that I did read through that Dude is a platform that they're gonna build on, right? We're gonna get U10 on the surface of on Dude and stuff like that. So 100% I think that they'd want to do more with Dude. So I think introducing a tab in this inventory tab that we already have is a good way to do it. Just yeah. What is the effect of double XP PvP week going to have on Bob Realmoid? It will have double experience. So that's something you know? No. Patron on Dude. Patron was originally designed to experience on the Tryon planet. It does not fit with the experience we're making Dude, rather than some running in. We are keeping clean. Patron, yeah. Again, like we talked about last week, they don't want to have Patron affecting Dude. I think that is a really fine decision in the beginning, but I think over time, at some point, it should do something to it. But I would like benefit people in that sense, because of helping new players that come into the game way later, that they can pay their way to just go and actually get all this Dude and get up to that, because like as they said, they want to do more with Dude, so we're going to probably see more with it. So definitely it's at some point you're going to be way behind, and Patron is just the best way. It's also actually very it actually can benefit you very well. Like it's really worth it to do a Patron, to be honest. And I think Dude should also get it at some point, but definitely not in the beginning. Will Panda be unlocked with the super mount stash? Probably not. Okay. I think that actually should be something that would, but probably not. Okay. I guess they don't want an easier way to get that. Maybe just make them rare. Make the super mount stash just rare or less accessible, and then put them in there, like the Golden Dragon effigy. There could be something. Will there be a new item added to the store available buying for credit in the future? Cubits, sorry. Cubits are, of course, the ones we get out of anything. Never say never, but there's no plans right now. Cubits are really, if you've seen my not recent video, I did a video not too long ago. I did it at one point. I did 180,000 cubits when I bought, gym booster boxes. I did the same thing with 200,000, and that's basically what you can do now. You can get dragon coins if you want those, but more or less you just want gym booster boxes. And you get that, but for me it's still beneficial. But I guess there's people out there that are just saving this thing up and maybe also running around with 200,000. And it's not going to use it for anything. You can't use it for anything at all. Well, you can buy some more dragon coins and stuff like that, like if you need a little bit, but you don't, because you're basically playing like you always have, and you're not going to run out of all these resources. So something a sink into this then is just not, I don't know, maybe, I don't know, at a ridiculous price, maybe convert it from, qubits to credits. I know that's free, but like, let's say 50,000 for like maybe not 100, but maybe 50 credits or something ridiculous. I know that sounds ridiculous, like amount, but I don't want to be like, 1-to-1, for example. That would be insane, right? But maybe like that, and actually benefit people that you can actually play absolutely for free. If you don't, I know you have the credit pouches and stuff like that, but your qubits doesn't really go into that. So maybe buy credit pouches with your those maybe. Then you can again pay your way to. I don't know. It's just ideas. Maybe they're not good. Probably not good. But these are ideas, and I think there definitely should be more available for qubits than what it is now. Any future events for Rampage spawning increasing or a day buff? Mostly focusing on Geo recently, yeah, and room for Rampage expansion future for sure. Again, Rampage is actually fine. I think it's fine. It's something that is hard to get for a player that doesn't have like a club that does a lot of it, but you get there at some point. And I think it's a good that they are actually focused on Geo more than now, and then keeping the Rampages on a kind of a back burner. And I think, like I've said many times, that it should just be copied to many other sub biomes and so on for the different things. Can Patron get 2 Luxus box dropping at a time? We are monitoring the time it takes to acquire Luxus, but most recently drop 2. Maybe look into getting them to drop faster for Patron. Yeah, I definitely think that it's important that it actually drops faster. When I farm for 2 to 3 hours on Wednesdays, I get 2 boxes without Patron, and I can get up to 3, right? Sometimes I do get 3, but mostly I only get 2. But as a patron, you can get up to 6, and I'm not saying it has an hourly cooldown, but it seems like I'm only getting 1 per hour, and I'm kind of like playing, right? I'm just going, not super fast near ninja style, but I feel like it's kind of been so I get 1 every hour. So I kind of see if you have to get 6, for example, right? You can get up to 6, so you have patron. It's actually going to be 6 hours approximately. I would think there's nothing confirmed for me, but I'm just saying it feels like it's that. So 6 hours is a lot. So faster dropping for patron is definitely something that would be very easy to do, but also very much better for those. Will the new gyms mentioned dropping in 10 replace our stellar? No, currently, no, they will not replace them. We recognize the hard work people put into the existing, and we adjusted costume and stuff like that. We kind of talked about this before. Your gems now is not going to be worse when U10 comes out. There's going to be something that we don't know yet, but it's going to be on the same. So everything you do now, also right now as you're probably watching this video, it's still going to matter. So don't worry, it's not going to be like, oh my god, I just yesterday put like, I don't know, 10,000 dust into this gym, and now it's just going to be, no. It's going to be amazing just as it is now. So don't worry, it's going to be exactly the same. Will you have a prerequisite for U10? Participating in Geo will give a leg up for U10. But it's not, yeah, of course. But I think that's a really good thing, that it will, if you could participate in Geo, it's actually going to help you in U10, but it's not like it's going to be like, oh, you can't do U10 at all because such and such. Right, last couple of questions. When it come to our costumes, I love to match with my mounts. Is there a way you could get a custom dye? Oh, not on the roadmap, but dyeing system is very unbreathing. Yeah, something like that. Something where you can like, taking for example League of Legends introduce chromas. So for some skins they have chromas, and I think that's really something that also should be here. I don't know if it should be behind paying for it, but I think like taking different colors and stuff like that, it has to take a while because you do have to rework the skins to, do that color when you then click it, basically. But I think it's really amazing, so you can get like a little bit more colors. As you can see, you can customize it more for your mounts or wings or whatever you want to customize them for. So I think custom, or not custom, but costume dye, that's what I needed to say, is absolutely amazing, and I think they should definitely put it in. It is a little bit of a rework for all skins, but they could do skins like once in a while, you know. They don't have to do it for all the skins immediately. You can just do it for some of the skins, like 5 at a time or something like that, or whatever, and then you can do like 5 colors, different colors of it, or whatever. When did this update drop? And we know, of course, Jude is coming out June 26th, so that's about 16 days or 17. No, sorry, I went it up. I mean, 15 days from now, as you're watching this, of course. Any plans of adding new bosses or soon after U10? Currently, we're building towards new bosses. Okay, so there are new bosses. I don't know what the plans are exactly, if it is for Shadow Towers. 100% I think Shadow Towers is amazing. We just need more bosses or more variants of bosses. I would like to see maybe a rotation. That could be fun. Like, it is not always the same bosses, but you have a rotation of like many bosses. Let's say right now we have 6, 7 bosses or something like that. If there's 7 bosses, like bump it up to 14, have them all rotate differently. Maybe not Dawn of the Moon, but maybe the other ones rotate, you know, and still have the many floors, but have maybe rotate, and then have Dawn of the Moon on the, like, still be the main person, right? What reworks are coming regularly to Trove combat with the new 10 update? We're gonna be waiting closer to discuss the details, but we're continuing revamping and improving individual classes. And we know that after this, I think it's the Ice Age, we're gonna see the rework too. We are going to see the Revenant in this here. And I know from Chronosilla, for example, she has been soloing all of Shadow Towers or the Revenant and without any problems, just going full DPS, just basically just hammering away. And she's been doing it with like 31 seconds on like Ultra Dreadnought, I think it was. Absolutely insane how the Dreadnought, or sorry, not how the Dreadnought is, how the Revenant is right now. And it's going to be amazing to get out that. And I think it's a great with the rework as it is there, or the buff, not the rework, but the buff to the class. So we get more variety in what people playing and stuff like that. We just need that for all of it, but we just need to call it what it is, and it's a buff, not a rework. Yeah. Will U10 be like U9, but with difficult biomes for enemies, or will there be more into it than farming dungeons? One focus of ours is adjusting and making improving objectives and dungeons. We aren't going to change the core matter that players are familiar with, and yeah, I think it's a very, very important that they don't change too much in U10. So it's kind of similar to what it is now. Some people might not like that, but it's also not. Some people are not gonna like is going to like that. For example, personally, I'm gonna like it. But some people are going to be like, we want a completely revamp of what is going to be like U10, how it is compared to U9, for example, right? But that also takes a lot more time. So it's kind of like, you kind of have to look at the community 50-50%, right? Where 50% is probably going to like it, 50% is probably not going to like it. And then you're just going to say, what is easiest for us to do, right? And that's going to be keep that same line and just make that 50% happy, right? Instead of making, you know, both of them unhappy, or making whatever is going to cost you the most, basically. So I think that's a good thing. And they will, of course, like they say, they will keep an eye on it like they always do. So that's good. When can we expect to get a weekly class contest where it's not the same 25 people automatically claiming the top 2 prizes? Very fair question to ask. Don't have an answer yet. We will discuss how it's solved. So we know it sucks. Well, we'll find out to fix it. As we go into Geode, we can actually craft Light Chaos Vaults. I know it's going to be super kind of expensive. What I can say about this is that it does suck, but you can craft them, but they're still in-game. They cost a lot. Honestly, I don't know either what to say onto this question, and other than it sucks. How is Brown Brilliance going to work after the Radiant Dayspring is gone? We realized that the Dayspring was a result of Brilliant Binds to some players. There's also a tome to generate it, and well, monitoring is what it can adjust. And if we're probably going to see Bomb Brilliance being more of a reward for like events and stuff like that. I'm still super surprised that they're going to remove the daily or Radiant Dayspring after a year. It was a good system. I kind of liked it. The only thing that didn't really work was the boxes that was not worth doing 18 off, basically. Maybe that's the thing. What we're going to see coming up, we don't know, but I'm excited to see something, but surprised that they removed it. I really am. Last question is, after the update on 2 to 3 times Moon Souls on Monday, the empowered gym tome that gives 1 empowered gyms and then sleeps for a week is kind of meaningless. Any plans on buffing it? Didn't have any plans, but we're bringing it up with the designers. So, yeah, I kind of get it, but I think how to get 2 to 3 Moon Souls or whatever, Lunar Souls, is quite tough to get it. And so in terms of accessibility, I think there should be some kind of incentive to do that. I don't think it should be buffed, but I guess maybe they should. Anyways, this has also gone on very long, but there was a lot of questions. Again, there was a lot of lore. I do want to say, if you made it this far, thank you guys so much for watching so far. I want to say that we are going to have a new episode also of the podcast. It's going to come on the 6th of July, 6th of July. We're already past that date, I would say, but 6th of July. Make sure you go to the description. You can find my stream there. There is also ! podcast. You can see that is a specific time that is going on. If it changes, of course, I will also let you know in the new show if you watch so far in the new show. It's kind of long right now, but again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will just see you in the next one. Goodbye.